will give zero tolerance to firearms found at any polling station. We have details.
Well, it's special voting day. I'm Kyerematen, and this is NewsCentral.
And I am Marina Egbeta, and still in the headlines, police officer forced to delete photos he took in the booth after casting his ballot in the ongoing special voting in the Ablekuma Central constituency. We have details for you.
When we come back, we'll bring you those details. Don't go away.
And you're welcome back to NewsCentral. A bit of an apology for that little glitch, but let's get into our election for you. Where are your election command center? We're zooming straight into it, where a police officer was forced to delete photos he took in the booth after casting his ballot in the ongoing special voting in the Ablekuma Central constituency. Some Electoral Commission officials who were monitoring the process spotted the unlawful conduct of the security man and swiftly apprehended him. Other security personnel on duty then asked him to permanently delete the photos. We also know that in that same constituency, an immigration officer's identity was used by another voter, causing his verification to be done manually. Now, despite these incidents, TV3's Christian Yale reports that voting has been seamless in the constituency. Let's go to him for a bit more details. Chris, let's start off first with the police officer who was apprehended for taking pictures of his ballot paper. How was all of that handled, and what has happened to him going forward?
Exactly, Eric. So what we know is that he has been released, though, and like one would say, if maybe it had been the main elections, he would have been arrested, for instance, and the phone seized thereof. But when this happened, he was quickly apprehended, called to return because he was just about leaving the voting center, and he was called to come back. And after that, he was then asked to delete all the photos. Initially, he was making the point that it is his privacy, and so he doesn't want to open his phone's gallery for everyone to see the kind of stuff that he has in his gallery. But he was then asked to just prove that indeed he did not take any photo as he claims. He opened his gallery, and then it was found out that he indeed took photos of his ballot after he cast his ballot. And so he was then asked to delete it, and then permanently asked to delete it from the recycle bin of his phone. So after that, he was then allowed to go back. A warning was served to him to ensure that he does not repeat any such instance in any other or on any other occasion. So what we know is that the interaction we had with the police officers here, the understanding they gave us is that because this is the special voting, to some extent, even though they are enforcing the law, they will issue some forms of cautions or warnings to people who try to offend the law. The other instance is what is involving the immigration officer. He came to cast ballots, but what happened? When he got here, he was told that he has already voted. And that was surprising to him because he had not come here before, and especially today, to cast his ballot. So he was later then told that someone had earlier used his identity to vote. That was a big blow to him, and he raised concerns with the Electoral Commission and raised an alarm there. And so eventually he was then asked to do the verification manually because he tried.
Seems the network will not allow us to be able to have the conversation. We'll try one more time with Christian. Christian, you're back with us. You're seeking to explain the process, how this immigration official was allowed to go through the process manually. How did the political party agent react to this? Because this is a serious issue of possible impersonation. How did they react, and how has all of this been resolved?
Exactly, Eric. And if you can hear me this time around, so I was making the point that he was asked to campaign to verify his identity on the BVD device, which did not work. They also tried to take his facial recognition. That also did not work. And so eventually he was asked to do the verification process manually, which he did and was then allowed to vote because his name and his photo, everything is well captured in the voter register.
Right, so Chris, help us understand, when he arrived and they said he had already voted, was it the case that he had gone through the biometric verification process, reason for which the machine rejected him and said that he had already voted? Just a bit of clarity on that front.
Exactly. It was the biometric process that identified that because someone who came earlier, an earlier voter, for some strange reasons, was able to use this immigration officer's identity to cast his ballot, which was something that was not detected, which is so strange. And it is one of the reasons that this officer was raising an alarm and raising serious concern because it is his identity and someone comes to vote in his name and that is not identified, only for him to come and now the device rejects him because it is understood that he has already voted. And so then what happens is that he has to do or undertake the verification manually happen. But those two incidents were easily managed and tempers were calmed thereafter, Eric.
Right then, and just briefly on what the party officials were seeking to provide that for us. I'm sure that also came up as a concern. Any reports that this will be escalated forward to the officials of the Electoral Commission at the headquarters as what possibly could be happening as well?
Exactly. And one of the concerns that has come up in all of this is what we know from what happened in the 2020 elections in the same constituency at Central, where there was a shooting incident in the collation center, resulting in people shot, who were shot, and one subsequently died. And so it just tells you that this is a key, a hotspot that you don't want to mess around or play with information or security issues here, because we know that right after those two incidents, for instance, there was another gentleman who tried to parade himself as a media person and was seen taking shots and taking photos. He was quickly questioned and asked to produce his accreditation and could not do that. He then went ahead to, more or less, like you say in the local parlance, hire a lawyer. He called someone who is in authority to come and bargain on his behalf, and that even brought a little banter between him and that person, and then the police personnel or the police officers who were only trying to ensure that there is law and order throughout this process. And so, even though the process has been very calm and smooth with about 320 people voting out of 856 expected voters, these are some of the, pockets of issues that have risen from the Central, with the Oldopo police station being the center, which has 2 voting centers here taking the vote concurrently.
Right then, Christian, many thanks for those details. That's my colleague Christian Yale, and it's interesting. He mentions these incidents that have occurred, but I'm curious about the police official who was only cautioned and asked to proceed and be on their way. But we get the indication, another development in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, Kemeni?
Absolutely. Let's check the pulse of the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, where Ibrahim Abubakar, Ashanti region correspondent, is on standby. Ibrahim, good afternoon to you. What can you report as far as the exercise is concerned? Ibrahim, I'm going to try again. Right, go ahead. We can hear you.
Earlier we reported that the Ofinsu North constituency voting there is yet to start because of delay in sending the voter register. In the morning when the EC officials came, they prepared everything, were set for the voting to commence, but they later realized that they've left the voter register in Kumasi, and this is about 2-hour drive from Akomadan to Kumasi. So they had to quickly come together with agents of the various political parties, come to Kumasi, pick it, and send it, because there were people who were angry, because, this is a special voting exercise and it's not holiday. So people were going there to vote and continue with the activity for the day. So to be there for more than an hour and there wasn't show, people had to leave. Just about an hour ago, around 11, they successfully brought the register and started with the voting process. But it is on a slow pace because people had earlier left. And others are even unaware that the register has been brought for the voting process to begin. So that place, they are expecting 599, and as we speak, about an hour, around 20-25 of them have voted, hoping that by 5 p.m. and the remaining will come and vote. But currently, I'm stationed at Patase Depot, that's where Inshayeso is voting. Here they are expecting 688 to vote. As we speak, over 300 of them have come here to exercise their franchise, and the voting is going on very smoothly here. But interestingly, people have taken this exercise very, very serious, both the NDC and NPP, and we have the likes of the former Attorney General, Marietta Brew, and other NDC bigwigs who have also come here just to observe the process, how it's going on, and ensure that everything is done smoothly. I'll try and engage with Marietta Brew and find out what she makes of the process so far, and also proceed from there. Good afternoon. You are live on TV3.
Thank you.
We know you've been here since morning. What has the observation been so far?
Well, so far, everything has been smooth up to this point. The EC officials got here on time. Voting started at about 3 minutes past 7. They did all the processes and started at 3 minutes past 7. So far, it's been good. Just about half of the people on the register have voted so far. So we are hoping that the turnout will, people will turn out.
I've observed that most of the NDC stalls are in Ashanti region to monitor or observe this exercise. Why Ashanti region?
We are across the country. We are across the country, not just in Ashanti region. And this is a very large part. And we take this election very serious. We are everywhere in the country, not just Ashanti region.
But I think the concentration, because of the 35% target for the Ashanti region.
Of course, we have a target for all our regions, and 35 or more for Ashanti region, but that's not the only reason why we are here. We are across the whole country monitoring to make sure that things are done properly, people turn out to vote, and that the process is free, transparent, and fair.
Thank you very much. Kevin, so the election, like I said, so
very well.
far so good, with the exception of offense.
Indeed, Ibrahim, we know that Marietta will not be the first person you're talking to. The former Attorney General will not be the first person you're talking to from the ground. Who else has been speaking to our cameras?
Well, a lot more of them, both the NPP stalwarts, almost all the parliamentary candidates are also keen on the ground, making sure that the process is being conducted in a free and fair manner. We also know, like I said, we've seen most of the big guys from NDC coming here. Betimo Idrisu is here, every Setri Ankara and the likes are also here. On the part of NPP too, we've seen a lot more of the national executives, Nanabi and the likes are also monitoring, going to the various registration centers just so to ensure that everything is being done in a transparent manner.
Very well, Ibrahim, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much from the Ashanti region. Let's turn attention to Krowo, where Crosby is at the moment. Noble Crosby Yanan is a man in the Greater Accra region. Earlier, Crosby, you were Ladade Kotopon. Now we understand you're in the Krowo constituency. Crosby, what can you report?
Well, Kemini, at the Ladade Kotopon constituency, the entire process was progressing smoothly. Some 2,655 electorates were expected to cast their vote at the Ladade Kotopon constituency, and that voting center was the Freezers Canteen. However, due to the numbers, it was divided into 4. So having one polling station, the prison center divided into 4 centers, where we're seeing some 663, 664, 664, another 664, so that we don't have more than 750 people voting in a center set by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. The progress of the exercise there was smooth. Speaking with the election officials and the presiding officer of that area, he tells me that they've not had cause to manually verify anybody because the biometric verification devices were working excellently. The exercise was also progressing smoothly. He tells me that if you come to join the queue, you will be spending in about 15 or 20 minutes in the queue to go through the process to cast the votes because of the high numbers. I should also tell you that the 2,655 number is a little high because of the nature of the Ladade Kotopon constituency. It houses a lot of security installations. For instance, the headquarters of the National Fire Service is there. The headquarters of the Ghana Police Service is also there. Burma Camp is also situated there. So you can see that as expected, you'd have a lot of numbers, a lot of security people there. And indeed, when I went, a lot of officers in their uniforms had come to cast their votes. It was a very busy place, but it was smooth. The progress was as expected. We also saw the parliamentary candidates of the for the area, the ticket of the NPP. I'm talking about Joseph Addo. He was there as well. He declined speaking with us, but we saw the NDC member of parliament for the Ladade Kotopon constituency, Rachel Dole Sowa there, and she, speaking with us, was pleased with the progress of work. But her only slight concern was the non-use of indelible inks by some people who had gone through the process to vote. She says that She raised the issue up with the electoral officials there, and it was swiftly corrected. She expected that the process would be smooth, to be fair and transparent. All of them, all of the elections, as well as the parliamentary candidates for the area. The two main ones, of course, Rita of the NDC and Joseph Addo of the NPP. They were observing keenly the entire process. I spoke with Rita. We can take a listen to what Rita Doliswa was telling me when we were at the Dekotopon constituency.
The process started on time and it's going on smoothly. But along the line, I realized that some people were not dipping their fingers into the ink. So I elected the EC officials, and they quickly told their officers that they should insist that people put their fingers in the ink. And I don't think that's the right way to go. I'm not saying somebody is going to do double voting, but this is what indicates that you have cast your vote already and you cannot cast again. And so that's one area our agents should also be very vigilant about. And so far they are comporting themselves very well. We have a total of 2,655 voters here, comprising of security services and other people who would have some responsibilities on the election day. And so I believe strongly that it's going well and things will be well.
We've seen your opponent also around here. He's also trying to engage a few people and all of that. Adding that to what you expect, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, this is a contest, and I'm certain that the people will give me the nod. So I'm not shaken by the appearance of my opponents. They also, it's not just one opponent here. We have three of them, and everybody's.
Now, Doliswa is Member of Parliament for Dekotopon. You just heard her in a conversation with Noble Crosby Yannan, who's been covering that constituency, and Klotikole as well.
Our next stop is in the Volta region, where the Member of Parliament for the Akachi North constituency, Peter Nochukotoi, says he remains skeptical about the activities of the Electoral Commission going into Saturday's general election. Though the Akachi North MP expressed satisfaction with the ongoing special voting exercise, he indicates that today's exercise is not enough to measure the competence of the Electoral Commission as far as the general election is concerned. Faisal Abdul Drisu is monitoring today's exercise across the Volta region. He's joining us right now with a bit more details. Faisal, run us through the happenings in the Volta region as far as the special voting is concerned. Where have you been? What can you tell us?
Journey today from the whole central constituency, where even before polls opened at 7, people had queued, about 3 queues ahead of time, most of whom were security personnel expected to vote in whole central this morning. Today, I moved to the Akachi North constituency, where some 116 voters are expected to cast their ballot. As at 11 a.m. before I left there, about 38 of those persons had already voted. Currently, as I speak to you, I'm in the Akachi North constituency, where some 702 persons are expected to vote. At the moment, more than 360 have already taken part in the exercise. It's been a very calm and peaceful exercise across the region, but it is important to note that across some of the voting centers, you don't find party agents for some of the political parties. I was in Akachi North where there were only 3 political party agents: the NPP, the NDC, and the new force has a party agent. Here in Akachi North, there are only 4 party agents. The NDC has 1, the NPP, LPG, and that of the Movement for Change, and so the rest are missing. But in the Akachi North constituency, where I engaged the MP and the Director for Research and Election for the NPP, both of them expressed satisfaction with the process so far, except that the MP, Honorable Peter Nochukotoi, indicated that today's exercise, despite the fact that it's been peaceful and smooth, is not enough to measure the competence of the Electoral Commission, which he says he remains very skeptical of their conduct. Let's have a listen to what he said.
Very much pleased with the process so far. According to information, they have not encountered any difficulties yet, but we hope that they will not, because we don't have many special voters here. It's 116, and I hope that by the close of day, everybody would have voted. We are only waiting for the actual December 7th, where we know that the victory is in the hands of NDC. Some of us are very, very skeptical about the activities of the Electoral Commission, and we have opened our eyes very well to whatever they will be doing on the D-Day. This is just a small election or voting exercise. The major one is on Saturday, and that's where more attention will be. This cannot be used to measure what will happen on Saturday. So we are waiting for anything that will come up on that.
As the Akachi North MP, Peter Nochukuto, is speaking to my colleague Faisal Abdul Idrisu, who covers the Volta region for us. Faisal has been providing details there for us as well. And as you know, we're still going around the country bringing you details of the ongoing special voting in different parts of the country. A reminder, it's happening in 14 out of the 16 regions because the Electoral Commission yesterday recalled ballot papers, presidential ballot papers for the Eastern and Western region because of a defaced ballot paper from Checkpoint Printing House, the printing firm which undertook printing for the Western and Eastern region. But we can bring you a bit more stories right now.
Absolutely. Let's turn attention to another key stakeholder in this election. More than 70% of media personnel who participated in 2 surveys conducted in 2021 and 2023 say they do not feel safe when covering national election campaigns. This is against the backdrop of concerns about media safety before, during, and after the December polls. I want to show you more of that story from that survey about media safety and the likes. We know that at least 70% of those surveyed said they do not feel safe at all. As you can see on your screen, not safe came down to about 31.2%, and not safe at all came down to 31.2%, not safe 49.5%. You can tell that of those who were surveyed between 2021 and 2023, the 20% that said they felt safe in 2021 dwindled marginally to 18.3%. On the subject of whether or not they felt safe covering stories about police violence, 50% said they did not feel safe at all. 43% also said they did not feel safe. If you put that together, we are looking at about 93.5% of the sample size saying they did not feel safe covering police violence. And then the very last one, covering stories about national security, you can see the number remains high for, the component of those who said they did not feel safe. We have about 86.9% of the sample surveyed saying they do not feel safety at all. Emmanuel Sowate is a research lead at the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom. He's joining us for a bit more on this story. Emmanuel, good afternoon to you. What were the key issues, would you say, should we pay close attention to from the survey? It would appear that Dr. Emmanuel Sowate cannot hear me, but I'll try again.
I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, fantastic. We cannot see you, and it's difficult to position you for our screens. But while you put on your device, Dr. Sowate, I was asking, when you look at the survey put out, what are the key elements that we should be focusing on based on the outcome of the survey?
Thank you so much. Do you hear me, please?
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. So again, good afternoon to your viewers. So this study was done by myself and then Professor Justice Tankabe. We are all at the Institute of Criminology, Faculty of Law of the University of Cambridge. Now, you're talking about the main findings. The main findings are that, one, the threats to journalists are multidimensional. It's not only one, and it's not only coming from one source. That's the first major issue. The second major finding is that media personnel face multiple threats to their physical safety and security, ranging from physical attacks, threats to their families, and pressures to kill the story. The next major findings is that half of the media practitioners, I'm talking about those who responded fully to our survey, experienced threats via telephone calls and messages. Now, this was particularly relevant for policing because you see, like every other country, police are constrained by the resources they have. So findings such as this helps you to prioritize your interventions and where you put your resources. Now, that will do two things. One, it gives reassurance to media personnel that they can do what the Constitution wants them to do, that is fearless. And then the second thing is that it gives confidence that those who commit violence against media personnel will be arrested. The second thing is that media personnel operate in fear of criminal victimization. Again, that's the fear. The other one is things that they had experienced. The second one is the fear. The fear is so pervasive and it's worrying. And it's worrying because a fearless media is very critical to the democratic credentials of any country, particularly when it comes to holding government officials accountable. Now, let me read something quickly that the GJA president said, and I think it's very instructive. And I read, quote, "A free and fearless media is at the heart of every democracy," unquote. Now, I think that this tells the story. So if you have a media operating in an environment of fear, that is worrying. Well, the last thing that I think that we can talk about from our findings is that the majority of media personnel feel unsafe covering election campaigns, state violence, political corruptions, and then traditional issues that affect traditional authorities.
Indeed, which is what I want us to focus on. The study you conducted was in 2021 and 2023. Would you say that the issues raised in the study are still very real today as we cover this election?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You see, one of the things that had driven us to do this research is that apart from the topicality of the issue, we had people engaging with the issue without data, and we thought that we needed a scientific study to prove or unprove what people were saying. And so, yes, the findings are very important. Now, we had the findings based on two waves. There's the first wave, and then there's the second wave. So we have elements of consistency and then maybe discontinuity. But the interesting thing in the findings is that not only are the findings speaking to current issues, apart from elections, it also talks to the broader issues of partly security sector reform, where the media is placed front and center in some of the reform, but also making sure that the fourth estate is given an environment where they can operate without fear.
Indeed. I think curiously also from this survey is the fact that even amongst the sample, perhaps you should tell us your sample size, but even amongst the some that you spoke to and interviewed for the survey, they also indicated how they felt attacked by their own colleagues, covering their own colleagues, particularly those who have political affiliations. What did that tell you?
That was fantastic and fascinating for us. So you're interested in the research method and methodology. I don't know whether I can go into it, but the first wave, in terms of the research participants, in the first wave, we had 122 media personnel feeling. It's online. We used Patrick's, and then we circulated. GJA was very helpful, particularly Kofi Eboa, the General Secretary, in disseminating the link. So the first wave, 122, the second wave, 101. The gender dimension was that we have 78.8 male and 17.2 female. We don't know how representative this is because we don't have the data of media personnel that can tell us that whether our sample was truly reflective of that size. And then when it comes to experience, the least person or the least experienced person was 7 months, and the oldest person in terms of the experience in the media space, okay? So the experience ranges from 7 months to 32 years.
Indeed.
And the mean is 11 years. Now, back to what you talked about.
Quickly.
I think that almost every media personnel knows that the media room is like a sanctuary where you can share ideas, where you're not afraid to speak your mind, critique others and things like that, and bring up issues that you think are very important. But what our findings show is that even among media personnel, let me read, feelings of safety covering stories about misconduct by fellow media practitioners, almost 50% of those surveys said that they did not feel safe at all or did not feel safe in covering stories about misconduct by fellow media practitioners. And that is very important because we have a Ghanaian proverb that says that you are at home or you are in the room, but your leg is outside. In other words, you don't have that protection that you need from fellow media practitioners to discuss issues rigorously and then make sure that nobody goes up to, as we say in pidgin English.
Well, Doc, we're out of time. I have a feeling we'll pick up this conversation again under different circumstances. Dr. Emmanuel Sowate there, he conducted that survey about media safety covering elections and election campaigns. It's been a minute, but we'll now take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take you across the regions again and keep an eye on happenings with campaigns and with the special voting exercise. Don't go away.
Fronto on the ballot paper. Don't look left. Don't look right. Share a siona. Vote for Kyerematen. Movement for change for a better Ghana.
Mahama once said, have you been offered a bribe before?
As a human being,
As a person?
any human being in the world encountered, corruption in a way, one way or the other.
Dadanwa, on December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development.
Esuro. You know, 1 bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint.
Allow history to be the judge of how I have served my nation, how well I have done my part in running my lap of that relay. What that verdict will ultimately be, I cannot say. I can only say that I have done my best, giving my all.
In almost 8 years, what is the verdict of this proclamation?
One day on television, I will kneel down and say, Mahama, I am sorry. And someone make kafan who say, an angel.
So one day,
Mahama was an angel.
Mahama kafra. But I stand for the truth. Mahama, sorry.
Oh, I'll take this opportunity to apologize to the former president. I mean,
yesterday, I was bound to apologize to President Mahama because he's a fine gentleman.
Corruption, the number of times 10. Mahama, this year, the Facha Ghana for the Facha and the Facha.
I'm 5 years old, up at your mama chopper, but who the physical? Maybe the Japan chop. My body will be your mama, my body will be.
Missing someone make a kafa Mahama who pa that time you piece of Mahama you come forward you say, not Mahama angel.
Papa Sammy, I beg if you find something small, give us.
Bro Sammy, you see, no be say boys no one do nothing and just they rely on handouts. Jobs no deal.
I understand the hassle. Hope they come. John Mahama they come do the national apprenticeship program where he go sort you guys.
But what is that?
John Mahama no say no be everybody will won't work for office.
Like me.
I want this true.
Under the national apprenticeship program, young men and women where they won't learn craft will be enrolled under the program and attached to a senior craftsman who will train them for free.
I beg you, mechanic inside. Me like this, I don't want to learn mechanic. But the course no.
Mechanics day inside. Yeah. Organizing, dressmaking, fabric making, catering, hairdressing, tiling, painting. What they even sweet about this whole thing they say, when you plead, the NDC government go make sure say they go give you certificate where you go fit take go look for job anywhere.
That's sweet.
Oh, that's be one waffle.
Another one waffle thing be say, when you plead, the NDC government go set you up with startup capital and equipment to make sure you can start your own business.
Wow! I dey go shopping my town wait 7th December.
Vote for change.
Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Hey, Cha, once again, you are welcome. Hey, how is my nephew?
By God's grace, he's well. He's the reason why I came here today. Opa, thank you for sending us money the last time. It was very useful. As I sent it to your nephew in school to be buying food small. You already know the feeding challenges with free SHS these days. He's already home for vacation, and I need some help to enroll him in private classes.
But he just left for school a few weeks ago. I mean, as for this, your traffic light system, I don't understand. And we have to cough money for extra classes in this economy. Look, it's unfortunate the way we are playing with the future of these children. Yeah. This free senior high school program needs to be improved. And that is where John Mahama comes in.
They say he's coming to cancel the free SHS when he comes home.
How can the person who started the progressively free SHS program cancel it? Rather, he is going to maintain and improve it by abolishing the double track system, providing dedicated source of funding, and include the private senior high schools in the program. You know, he's also going to decentralize and improve the food procurement to make sure that our children can eat good food while they're in school. Echa, money can breathe.
I'm going to campaign for John Mahama because I want quality free SHS for my children. Enough of the traffic lights.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
My brothers and sisters, at a time when we are suffering due to the bad policies of the Bawumia-led economic management team, leading figures of the MPP, like Chairman Wontumi, are destroying our water bodies in search of gold to satisfy their greed. To add insult to injury, they openly brandish their ill-gotten wealth, which they acquired from poisoning our water bodies in our faces, and mock us on top of it.
When your friend of gold, when your friend of gold, when you're tesoro, sikakoko, etinya katanwa. Yawono and the Mat Ghana and Jessica. What I say? When your friend of gold, what I say? And it's a solid money. Solid money. What I say? Sas Kana Yano. What I say? Solid money. Solid. What are solid money? Maybe for Biamu as I solid. Solid money. I'm talking about solid money. What I say? As a casa want to me was Sika. And your bango. And your gold. And it's all good there. I can't watch me. Mammy Fabian, solid money. We are talking about solid money. Solid money.
To stop this impunity, you and I must vote for change on December 7. Even Kennedy Japan of the MPP is calling for change.
I'm telling you, the situation we are in now, Ghanaians don't need change. Change needs Ghanaians.
Repeat that, please. Ghanaians don't need change.
Ghanaians don't need change.
Change needs
us. It means that we've gone past change. The situation is worse. That the change itself now is saying that please come and let me change you. Yes. And when you talk to people, they all admit that we need change.
Vote wisely and vote John Mahama.
back here on News Central. We are your election command center. We're heading straight onto the campaign platforms where the NDC flag bearer John Mahama has given the strongest indication yet that the party has sought the interests of Muslims more than any other government in the Fourth Republic. At a special prayer session by Mr. Mahama by imams in the Ashanti region at the Great Hall of the KNUST, John Mahama also accused government of selling out the Hajj village at the airport to its cronies to the detriment of Muslim pilgrims. Let's go to Komla Kuluche, who's been sitting through that session between John Mahama and the imams in the Ashanti region. Is joined us via Zoom right now. Komla, talk to us about the reasoning behind this meeting with the Muslim clerics today.
Well, you will recall John Mahama has met a lot of interest groups, especially the religious ones. He met the Muslim groups. He's met part of the Muslim groups in Accra. He's met the Christian community as well, the clergy. And even here at the Great Hall of the KNUST about 2 weeks ago, he met the members of the clergy in the Ashanti region. And this is also another step he is having in terms of engagement with people. We are aware that at the commencement of this campaign by the NDC and then the MPP, the religious card has been played to a very large extent. Admittedly, John Mahama has shied away from it in terms of making it much of a political issue. However, the issue about what the NDC has done for the Muslim community remains on the lips of the NDC and John Mahama for that matter. The reason why the special the prayer session for the Muslims today has become very important at the third day of his campaigning in the Ashanti region. And at that meeting, John Mahama has been straightforward on what he's done for the Muslim people and what...
Within 5 years, Obobusia $11.5 billion. Now, me say 4 years I'm a trainer abemu, and you may ye na habo fofro airport fofro na say you may ye na Busia boy 3.5 billion. And you may say, Anka mina minya 11.5 billion. Anka Ghana higher Ghana better than Dubai. Answer the manifesto, Chief Imam. At the Krata, a friend of Muslim manifesto brain. Now Muslim manifesto no. Now Omachro and Nyoma Omudwin say Yamanyoko no eba bemunia ya ebeboa ye zongo ni your Muslim communities.
And that's John Mahama speaking in an engagement with Muslim clerics at the Great Hall of the KNUST. He will take us on to our second break here on News Central. We'll return and then take the show home.
Soho.
I'm a Ghanaian and I love luxury accredited faith and I love democracy.
December 7th, Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace, I give it to you all.
I love Ghana.
Peaceful election before, during, and after.
One Ghana.
Peace. Peace to everybody. This message brought to you from the luxury accredited faith.
Your game is weak. I'll consume just like your party's policies. No wonder you are heading straight to the opposition this election.
Come on, bro. With your 24 hours something, are you trying to say the chop bar woman will be 7:54 at 12 midnight?
And you, with your digitalization talk, how is that going to help the chop bar woman sell more fufu and soup? Are we going to use credit card at the chop bar?
Hey, you two, enough of this back and forth wahala. Politics and governance isn't just about manifestos and empty promises. It demands a comprehensive plan. That's why Kyerematen is bringing the Great Transformational Plan, GTP. Listen, the GTP is about real change. It is built on 6 key clusters. First up, the economic cluster. This is about fixing the economy, creating jobs, supporting local businesses, particularly small businesses, and helping our farmers, fishermen, and those in tourism to grow. Next is the governance cluster. Under this, Alan is focused on fighting corruption, strengthening our institutions, and ensuring transparency. No more shady deal. It is also about deepening local governance and decentralization.
Wow.
Wait, there's the infrastructure cluster. We are talking about better roads, railways, reliable energy, digital services, and real housing for all. Not just empty talk. The social services cluster also focuses on healthcare, quality education, and support for the youth and the vulnerable. Everyone deserves a fair chance. And the environment cluster is about managing our natural resources to create wealth, addressing climate change, and promoting sustainable environmental practices. We want to leave a clean Ghana for the next generation. Finally, the behavioral and mindset change cluster highlights how we Ghanaians can realize a change in conduct to be better and more responsible citizens. Imagine this: jobs, quality healthcare, real education, and leadership with integrity. That's true transformation.
Ali, the GTP is indeed a game changer. Wow. So where can I get a copy?
Don't worry, I will get you one. So I ask you, when I say vote Alan Kyerematen, what do you say?
Hey, Cha, once again you are welcome. Hey, how is my nephew?
By God's grace, he's well. He's the reason why I came here today. Opa, thank you for sending us money the last time. It was very useful. As I sent it to your nephew in school to be buying food small. You already know the feeding challenges with free SHS these days. He's already home for vacation, and I need some help to enroll him in private classes.
But he just left for school a few weeks ago. I mean, as for this your traffic light system, I don't understand. And we have to cough money for extra classes in this economy. Look, it's unfortunate the way we are playing with the future of these children. Yes. This free senior high school program needs to be improved. And that is where John Mahama comes in.
They say he's coming to cancel the free SHS when he comes home.
How can the person who started the progressively free SHS program cancel it? Rather, he is going to maintain and improve it by abolishing the double track system, providing dedicated source of funding, and include the private senior high schools in the program. You know, he's also going to decentralize and improve the food procurement to make sure that our children can eat good food while they're in school. Echa, money can breathe.
I'm going to campaign for John Mahama because I want quality free SHS for my children. Enough of the traffic lights.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Papa Sammy, I beg if you find something small, give us.
Bro Sammy, you see, nobody say boys no one do nothing and just they rely on handouts. Jobs to no deal.
I understand the hassle. Hope they come. John Mahama they come do the national apprenticeship program where he go sort you guys.
Brother Sammy, wait till be that.
John Mahama knows say no be everybody way won't work for office. Like me.
That one day is true.
Under the national apprenticeship program, young men and women where they won't learn craft will be enrolled under the program and attached to a senior craftsman who will train them for free.
I beg you, mechanic day inside. Me like this, I don't want to learn mechanical, but the course no.
Mechanics day inside. Yeah. Organizing, dressmaking, fabric making, catering, hairdressing, tiling, painting. What they even sweet about this whole thing, they say, when you plead, the NDC government go make sure say they go give you certificate where you go fit take go look for job anywhere.
That's sweet. Oh, that's be one waffle.
Another one waffle thing be say, when you plead, the NDC government go set you up with startup capital and equipment to make sure you can start your own business.
Wow! I dey go shopping my town wait 7th December.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Franco Trading Air Conditioner is accepted by all. It is energy efficient and it's good for our weather. So grab yourself one now and enjoy the super breeze. It comes in 1.5, 2.0, and 2.5 horsepower. It is very energy efficient and so affordable. What are you waiting for? Enter any Franco Trading Enterprise branch across the country for wholesale and retail. Franco is there to serve you. So schools, hospitals, hostels, and individual homes, grab your Franco Trading air conditioner now. It is very affordable and energy efficient. Franco Trading Enterprise, home of quality air conditioner. Franco air conditioner, numero uno.
Afro-Franto on the ballot paper. Don't look left. Don't look right. Share Asiona. Vote for Alan Kojo Kyerematen. Afro-Franto. Movement for change for a better Ghana.
My brothers and sisters, at a time when we are suffering due to the bad policies of the Baumia-led economic management team, leading figures of the NPP like Chairman Wontumi are destroying our water bodies in search of gold to satisfy their greed. To add insult to injury, they openly brandish their ill-gotten wealth which they acquired from poisoning our water bodies in our faces and mock us on top of it.
When your friend of gold, when your friend of gold, when you're Tesla, Sikakoko, Etinya Katanoa, Yawono, and the Ghana, and Jessica. What I say, when your friend of gold, what I say, and it's a solid money. Solid money. Solid money. What I say, Sass Kana Yano, what I say, solid money. Solid. What are solid money? Maybe for Biamu as I solid. Solid money. I'm talking about solid money. What I say? And your casa want to me was Sika. And your bango. And your gold. And the same gold here I can wash me. What it? Mammy for Biamu. Mammy for Biamu. So why? Solid money. We are talking about solid money. Solid money.
To stop this impunity, you and I must vote for change on December 7. Even Kennedy Japan of the NPP is calling for change.
I'm telling you, the situation we are in now, Ghanaians don't need change. Change needs Ghanaians.
Repeat that, please. So, and Ghanaians don't need change.
Ghanaians don't need change.
Change needs
us. It means that we've gone past change. The situation is worse. That the change itself now is saying that please come and let me change you. Yes. And when you talk to people, they all admit that we need change.
Vote wisely and vote John Mahama.
Pennyfonina Muntu Aba Emma Obia Usunyame Obedrin dancing Muntu Aba Emma George Ramani Mahama any NDC na aksi tremu enyenre emayeni na
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
And that's how we'll end today's edition of News Central, which came to you live from our studios here on the John Hammond Street. A reminder that we are your election command center and trust us to bring you up-to-the-minute speed of everything related elections all throughout now till, what, December 9th, 10th, thereabout, where possible declaration can come through. I am Mawina Igbeta.
We'll continue to keep an eye on the special voting exercise here at your election command center today. You want to stick and stay with us. I'm Kemeni Amano. Bye-bye from us.